Welcome, everyone. Quick little disclaimer for those of you who are new here and you're just clicking on this video. Welcome. Make sure that you check out the description down below. There is a link to the very same Google Sheet that I use in all of my videos, and you can find a very detailed guide to all of the Pokemon changes. And most importantly, you can find right here on the bottom a move sheet. And tons of other useful sheets as well. You can explore those. But most importantly, there is this move sheet where I detail every single move, buff, and change in the hack in organized little sections, so you should definitely check that out. Very important stuff. That being said, Infernape. Infernape had some super sick buffs. Obviously, my man was the GOAT back in like Gen 4, but as time went on, power creep and stuff became super underwhelming. And obviously, with the high power levels in his hack and stuff, every Pokemon needs buffs and changes. So obviously, these guys are no exception. Trio is honestly just a super solid starter trio as a whole. But for the sake of time, I'm going to get straight into it. So the pre-evolutions have solid abilities in Blaze and Unburden. Keep in mind that this ROM hack, you do have access to infinite usability capsules, so you can easily switch between those two abilities. Both of those are just super useful. You're pretty quick. You're pretty strong. Just a strong, fast Pokemon for that point in the game. Blaze is great with Endure. Endure being a TM that you can teach whenever you want. So you can run Lychee Berry or Select Berry or not Select Berry. Oh, I mean, Blaze, you can do that. With Blaze, you can run Pinch Berries, or with Unburden, you can run a Pinch Berry with Endure, and you can get like Lychee Berry Unburden with Endure, and you can get double your speed plus 1 attack. You can do that with the Focus Sash once you can buy those during in Akala Island. You know, all kinds of really fun stuff. The gems, you can buy those. You can even run Flying Gym Acro. That'll probably be a little bit before you evolve. Actually, yeah, you'll be getting Acro before you evolve, so you can run Flying Gym Acro a little bit. Quick Claw is buffed to always trigger, so that's all great with Unburden. All kinds of fun stuff you can take advantage of there. But most importantly, when you evolve, you gain 2 new abilities in Proficiency and Technician. So not only are you much faster in general, you are frailer overall, just because I don't think Infernape made that much sense to be that bulky. And, HP is based a little bit more on size, and I figured, Infernape makes more sense to be at this HP range. And I also just wanted more stats for the offenses and speed. It does have a unique speed tier of 119, which is, it's a great speed tier. You outspeed all of the 115s, 110s, all that crap, but you do get outsped by 120, which is fair. Not to mention you have tons of priority anyways. Speaking of priority moves, some of your best ones, actually literally all of your priority moves besides Sucker Punch, are Technician boosted. So you have 2 great new abilities, Proficiency and Technician. Proficiency is essentially Beast Boost, okay? So you'll be getting a +1 attack, special attack, or speed boost depending on your EV spread. So in this ROM hack, not only do you have access to those ability capsules that you can use over and over again, but you can also change your EV spread around at will. And that's really cool because you can run a physical set one fight, a special set the next fight. You can use the wings to get +4 EVs to like specifically count the EVs. Otherwise the protein type items will give you max EVs. But if you want to count specific EVs for like speed creeping or whatever, you can make sure that you get a speed boost with Proficiency, which is awesome. So you can get any of those 3 stats boosted, which is great for sweeping. And obviously you do have setup like Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, Calm Mind, Bulk Up. All of those are really great, but keep in mind PP setup is nerfed in this game. So that was the setup moves have nerfed PP in this game, all right? So just because setup is pretty free, not to mention in the vanilla games. And there's tons of other ways that the AI will prevent you from setting up or stop sweeps with different kinds of items and moves. But, still a great option. Proficiency in general is super strong. You have powerful stab options like Flare Blitz and Blazing Assault and Submission and all this strong crap, close combat, all this strong stuff late game. Again, every move is buffed or changed in this hack, so definitely give those a look in the description below. But that's Proficiency. Now, the bulk of the video is going to be talking purely about all the Technician stuff that it can take advantage of, because there is a lot. So as always, you can click these little links and see what they do. But for Technician, I do have a little guide that shows off all the really cool moves that you can abuse with this, that Infernape has. So I mean, obviously all Pokemon have this, but I have to add Infernape's little picture here. I'll do that right now. It's really fucking sick. Infernape has all kinds of powerful Technician options, and that's another reason I picked for fitting. That was not English, but if you read the Pokedex and stuff, it talks about how it's it's unique fighting. It uses unique fighting moves. It'll take on any opponent. It tosses enemies around with agility. Uses its limbs to fight its own unique style. Hence why I gave it Technician, and also why its speed is super high. Also just for it looks like a pretty damn fast Pokemon, especially in 3D with its little animation. It's pretty quick looking. So that's really awesome. Super fast, as he should be. And then, yeah, Technician stuff. So Technician is insane. You have your dual stab priority with Mach Punch, Vacuum Wave, Ignite, and Power Dash. And then you have First Impression, all of which are Technician boosted. First Impression becoming 135 base power Technician, so that's super powerful. I'm probably going to make it a little smaller. go. So that's super awesome. Those are priority options. Obviously, also something like Fake Out, but you're not going to be keeping that far into the game because there is no movie learner until the late game, until post game almost. The Pokemon League, but a lot of your really good moves are actually learned as Monferno, and you should actually keep those. So I'll go through them now. I already said the priority moves. Fury Swipes and Pummel are multi-hit moves that become incredibly powerful, as you can see here on this little sheet here. Beat Up is also extremely powerful. In fact, it's much more powerful than Fury Swipes, depending on your team, and obviously, assuming that your Pokemon are alive and not fainted, which if you're doing a Nuzlocke, they shouldn't be, ideally, which is what this pack is balanced for. But yeah, Double Kick and Force Waves are both 105 base power. Force Waves being especially amazing because it's well, both of those, all these moves that hit multiple times are also great because they bypass things like Sturdy, Focus Sashes, Multi-Scale, Energy Shield, all that stuff. Bypassing that is super important because that's another way that sweeps are stopped, is with those abilities or moves, and bypassing that can make you a lot better of a sweeper, or just be able to kill things you otherwise wouldn't be able to. Force Waves also has a 50% chance to paralyze overall, I believe 51, because each one is a 30%. So that's really great. With Technician, it's 105. Double Kick's 105. I didn't give them Triple Kick, but I did give Technician Triple Kick to something like Brealoom, which is incredibly powerful now. But Flame Burst is also incredibly powerful. Flame Burst hits 3 times now, and it's 25 base power per hit, so it's Technician. That brings it to a total of 1 to the team base power. Raging Fury is great. That gives you that's 75 base power and gives you +1 attack, same as Power Up Punch. Both of those are great dual stabs. Power Trip can technically be Technician boosted as well, and that also works great with proficiency because the more boost you have, the stronger Power Trip becomes, and Power Trip will give you another +1 attack each time you use it, so that's awesome. Despite, keep in mind though, it does have 3 PP for balancing reasons. You have Dual Stab, Rolling Kick, and Flame Wheel, both of which will also give you +1 speed and are 90 base power with Technician. And that's about it. There's a couple other small things like Mud Fling is good coverage. It's ground type. Special coverage, 90 base power with Technician. And you also have stuff like, other ground coverage and the physical side. Rock Tomb is Technician boosted. Fire Spin, 60 base power, becomes 90 with Technician. And that is consistent, 100% accurate, always traps for a set amount of turns. All these moves are super awesome and great and worth using. So yeah, there's a couple other small things here, like Covet is nice. That's 90 base power. Over Play Rough if you don't want to take the recoil damage. All kinds of stuff like that. So really cool Technician options. He's got a plethora of them, and that's really fucking sick. And that's another reason I chose the ability, just because how many of his moves were Technician abusable, and because it fits. He's a fighting type, and the Pokedex and stuff. It's Technician is kind of a general ability that fits a lot of Pokemon. So yeah, I'll leave it off there. There's a couple other things like Fling is buffed and changed. That's super fun. You can check out what that does on the move sheet or the item change guide right here, how that buffs and changes. Yeah, all kinds of other little things I could mention. Again, tons of coverage, tons of good utility as well, like Tickle and Slack Off and Parting Shot and blah 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 blah. You get the idea. Also, Reversal is great with Unburden or Blaze as Monferno because you get a level 29, and that can be incredibly powerful with Endure. So you can definitely make some crazy sweeps with that move in conjunction with your abilities, because both your abilities rely on you losing an item and sometimes getting into low HP range. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for listening. If you did listen this far in, another quick little thing I'll mention is that some of these moves might seem kind of weird. The reason I gave him Psychic is because he did learn things like Calm Mind, and I already gave Psychic to something like Typhlosion because it learned Extra Sensory, and something like Magmar already had Psychic, so if they can have Psychic, Infernape can too. But yeah, that's about it. I'll leave it off there. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully this video is still under 10 minutes because I am trying to keep them on the shorter side nowadays, gets more views, and it's just a lot more digestible for people. So if this thing was interesting to you and you like these kinds of buffs and changes, definitely check out the description down below and look at the Google Sheet. Share it with your friends, join my Discord server, all that fun stuff, and I thank you for your time.